Welcome back. Perks Recap Podcast, Yankees edition, MLB edition. Big series this weekend for the Yankees against the Mets, the crosstown rivals, of course, and a lot of emphasis put on this series in the New York media. I don't subscribe to it as much. I guess if you live in the city, I worked in the city, but I didn't live in the city, and you grew up there, and the rivalry is more intense for you. But it's still not in your division, not even in your league in terms of the two teams. So the wins and losses aren't that important. And to me, it's always about the Boston Red Sox beating them in keeping them down and them losing than the Mets. I don't really care about the Mets. If the Mets win or lose a random game against me, I don't care. I only just want to beat them when we play them. That's the only time I care about them. And honestly, if they made it to the World Series last year and we didn't, and they went up against like Detroit, I would not be rooting for Detroit to beat the Mets. I don't care if the Mets win or lose even the World Series. It doesn't matter to me. I care if the Red Sox win or lose the World Series. That's for sure. They're the enemy. The Mets are not. The Mets are just insignificant. It's the same difference if Kansas City won the World Series. I don't care. I'll have the same reaction to them winning as I would the Mets. But anyway, I don't, so the point of all that is I don't subscribe to the rivalry theory, but it is real in New York, and they did put a big emphasis on it. And of course, they pit Judge against Soto. Soto coming back to New York for the first time, or coming back to the Yankees, Yankee Stadium for the first time since he went to the Mets. So that was a big story. The first game he got really booed. I think he pretty much got booed the entire series, even to the point where the creatures turned around and put face their back towards him. Some Juan Who signs or Soto Who T-shirts I saw, all kinds of stuff. So it was kind of a circus, but a big game atmosphere for all three. Intense games. Their standing room only tickets were really sold. They had like 48,000 people, which is like the most for a regular season game, and I don't know how long. Um, and probably forever. I think it's the most they've ever sold for a regular season game at the new Yankee Stadium. So anyway, jumping into this first game, it was Friday the May 16th. 6-2 win for the New York Yankees. Rodon, 5 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 4 walks, 5 Ks, ZRA's at 317. I I can't complain. It's like Stanton last year when he just kept doing well. I couldn't complain about it. Um, I can't complain about this. I don't want to say I have confidence in him because I still don't, but I don't. It's dwindling. It's melting away. The doubt that I have in him. Um, the I still, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, is this going to be one of those stinkers, 3 innings, 6 runs type of a thing? Because with Rodon, what happens a lot is he'll be fine for a few innings, and then one thing goes wrong, and then it just blows up. It's just grease on a fire. It's insane. He'll be 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, and then in the fifth inning, give up, 4 or 5 runs and leave with the bases loaded. Like just craziness. That's like kind of the history. But he's been doing really well now for about what five starts in a row, maybe even six. So no complaints. Um, Great to see Jonathan Loizaga back. If he's right, and there's no guarantee he'll be right, but if he's right, he is a weapon for the New York Yankees. He is a surefire, like bullpen flamethrower, bullpen ace, relief ace. He can be literally that the best arm in that bullpen belongs to Jonathan Loizaga. It's just a matter of if he's right, if he can stay healthy. That's the main thing. If he's right and staying healthy, if he can stay healthy all year from here to the end of the season, he should be one of the best relievers in baseball. Like got that kind of talent, and he's been that before. So that's a big weapon that they got back if he's can stay healthy. No, he pitched in his first inning, gave 1 hit, but got through it. Leiter Jr., another guy I'm kind of like on, gave up a hit and a K, 1 inning, nothing else. And he got a K as well. Devin Williams, another outing where he didn't give up anything, 1 inning, nothing. Um, you know, they seem comfortable with Weaver being the closer still. But Devin Williams is seems to be on the right track now. A few outings in a row here. He had that one hiccup, but other than that, he's been pretty good since he's got demoted. De Los Santos, just 2/3 of an inning, gave up the other run. For the Mets got 2 runs, one off Rodon, one off of him. His ERA for the season though is still just 2.35. Not going to complain about him. He had a couple walks and a hit, and Weaver came in and got that save that I was talking about, and that's his 5th save. He only came in for a third of an inning. They weren't going to have him get the save. De Los Santos was supposed to pitch the ninth, but after two walks and a hit and giving up that run, they decided, even though there was only one out to go, they brought in Weaver anyway. So he got the one out, got the save. 0.44 ERA for Weaver. Okay, the 17th, Saturday, a 3-2 loss. The Mets strike back. But don't blame it on Clark Schmidt. I like Clark Schmidt. I've been saying it all along. 6 innings, 3 hits, 5 walks. A little bit much on the walks. 5 walks and 3 hits, but only 2 runs, 5 Ks in those 6 innings. 3 runs in 6 innings is called a quality start. So 2 runs in six is even better than that. His ERA is down to 4.41. I'm telling you, as a 5 for sure, but even as a 4, he's a quality MLB arm for your fourth starter. Maybe not quite good enough to be your third, but in certain situations when he's going well, he can as well be your third starter, which is where the Yankees have him right now. Leiter Jr. came on again. They just keep throwing Leiter Jr. in there, and I gotta just accept it. They like him obviously, and he's gonna get innings, and he's gonna get important innings. So another inning, gave up 1 hit but got through. 2.95 ERA now for Leiter Jr. Tim Hill came in, went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit but got through with nothing else. And we lost this on Fernando Cruz. Cruz has been kind of a little bit shaky, but his ERA for the season is 2.66, so can't really complain about it. He gave up a hit, a walk, got a K, and gave up a run. So that's the 3 runs. He gave up the last run, the game-winning walk-off run on Saturday. Really quick, I wanted to mention on Friday, the 16th, in the 6-2 win, I didn't mention any of the hitters. Judge 2 for 4, Bellinger 3 for 5, Goldie 2 for 4, Goldschmidt. Bellinger warming up, and you'll see that as we continue. Really starts to warm up. Dominguez actually stole a base, his 4th, and if you're keeping track, Judge went 2 for 4. Soto went 0 for 2 in a run with a run scored, but also 3 walks. He did walk 3 times, 0 for 2. Okay, so Saturday I gave you the pitching. The last guy on the mound was Cruz, and he gave up the run. But LeMahieu got his first home run of the year. He's playing every day, so I got to get used to it and got to accept it. And I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for him to hit, and that would be great. He went 2 for 4 with a hit, with a homer. Bellinger 1 for 3, but also a home run, his 6th home run. And between the 2 days right now, we're at 4 for 8, so that's 500 with a homer. Judge actually goes 0 for 5. And if you want to know why they lost 3-2 to the Mets, Judge went 0 for 5. That does not happen that often. I can't remember the last time he went 0 for 4, 0 for anything, really. But I think I remember it 0 for 4. I don't remember the last time he went 0 for 5. It's been a while. Dominguez and Volpe both got 2 hits. Good to see. Still liking what Dominguez is doing overall. And if you're keeping track, Soto went 1 for 4 with a run and a walk. So Soto so far is 1 for 6, 2 runs and 4 walks. And Judge is 2 for 9. So not much. Yeah, the big matchup everybody wants so far through the first 2 games did nothing. They weren't really factors. Um, Now we go to Sunday's game, May 18th. An 8-2 win for the New York Yankees. The Mets kind of threw this away. They had two really bad errors. A run was allowed to score when bases were loaded, or at least guy on third was Dominguez with all his speed. Grounder to Pete Alonso, throwing home to try to stop the run from scoring, and he just airmailed it way over the catcher's head. That was a bad one. Um, I did not realize the Mets have been having fielding issues this year, like a lot of errors. Even Lindor apparently has a lot. So I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, they're having a lot of problems in the field, catching and throwing. So they had two errors tonight. They had one in the first game as well. So they had three errors in the series. Um, Max Fried, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 8 Ks, 2 runs, ERA 1.29. Another really, really nice start for Max Fried. Loizaga comes in for his second game, 1 inning, a K, nothing else. His ERA still 0. Devin Williams, 1 inning, a K, nothing else. His ERA is down to 7.31. That'll show you how bad it was before, considering he's now, in this series, had 2 more innings where he didn't give up anything, 2 more appearances, and he's been doing that pretty steady since he's been demoted. Other than that one time he blew up, where he went 1 inning, I believe, and gave up 3 runs. Um, that he's doing well now in multiple appearances in a row, and his ERA is still 7.31. So that's how bad it was. And Tim Hill came on for an inning, gave up nothing, 3.54 ERA for him. Bellinger, 3-for-3 in this game. A grand slam, 6 RBIs. It was 4-2, 4-2, and Bellinger hits a grand slam. In part because of the Mets fumbling and bumbling around in the field. Even Juan Soto, he didn't get errors for, but a couple plays in right field, he just didn't recognize where the cutoff man was, and airmailed his throw in, and Lindor had to recover it, and just a mess out there. But the big Judge and Soto matchup, Judge went 1-for-3 with a run. Soto went 0-for-4. So Soto was 1-for-10. 1-for-10, 4 walks and 2 runs. And Judge wasn't much better. He was 3-for-12 with 3 walks and 3 runs. So the matchup that wasn't. These guys had very little impact on this series, and that's what everybody was all excited about. Maybe Yankee fans took a little bit more joy in the fact that Soto didn't do anything than the Mets saying that Judge didn't do anything. But it doesn't matter. Neither one of them did. All right, so Matt, batting averages. Goldie still sitting at 339. Goldschmidt. Grisham, 267. Judge, even with that 0-for-5 on Saturday, he was 1-for-3 on Sunday. Even with that, he's still over 400. He's at 401. He's going to get under it very soon, and then once he does, he's going to stay under it. Bellinger is up to 258. If you remember where he was, where the fact that he's at almost 260 now is amazing. That shows you how hot he is. Got to keep him in the game for sure, on the field, in the lineup. Volpe's down to 235. Austin Wells is at 207. Vivas is at 167. Escar is at 189. Peraz is at 172. That is pathetic. And these are guys that are in the lineup on a fairly regular basis, especially Volpe, who's in every day, and Wells, who's in almost every day. And between Vivas and Peraza, one of them is in the lineup every day, too. These guys are they're just not getting the job done. And I think I mentioned this last time. It's getting close with Volpe. I got to tell you, I tell you what, they give him this whole year, and he has another down year. And the kid in the minor there, George Lombard, can play short. You might be looking at Lombard as the starting shortstop, and Volpe kind of being a utility guy. I mean, he's not showing the improvement you want. It was two 220 the first year, then it was 240 the second year, and here we are a couple months in now. We're a quarter of the season through. He's at 235. Where's the improvement? Dominguez 241. I wish that was a little higher, but he shows signs, and I like him. I like his aggression. The steal on Friday, the run that he scored today against Cody, against Pete Alonso on that throw. I think if Pete Alonso made a good throw there, it would have been close, but I still think Dominguez probably would have been safe. I'm not going to mention. I mean, Rice is at 250, but I'm not going to mention LeMahieu's at 333, but he's literally got like 4 games, so he can go 0 for 5 and it'll go down to under 200, and he can go 5 for 5 and it'll be batting 600. So anyway, that was the series with the Mets. Like I said, a lot of hype. A lot of people were really excited for this one. Got overshadowed a little bit on Friday by the Knicks and their series victory. But even people I know who are Knicks fans who were really excited to watch that still watched Soto's first at bat in Yankee Stadium because it was before the Mets game, before the Knicks game. It was they came out an hour before, so they watched the first hour of the Yankees Mets, but the crowd was absolutely amazing for all 3 games. Electric atmosphere at Yankee Stadium, great to see. The Mets are going to be going to Boston, and then they have the Dodgers. So good luck to them. But like I said before, I don't really care because I don't. But anyway, we're going to go on Tuesday, so the 20th. Texas comes in the stadium. So the Yankees have a home series of 6 games with a day off in the middle tomorrow, Monday the 19th is a day off for them, and they get to stay home. Like usually your days off, you go travel somewhere, but they stay where they are, and they welcome Texas in. But then they have to do the opposite of this. They play with Texas Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with no break off. Then they have to get on a plane and go to Colorado for Friday for 3 games, and then the Angels for 3 games back to back. So they get the benefit of having the day off on Monday while they're home before and after it, but then they don't get no day off when they're home to playing Texas in the afternoon, and then going to Colorado the next night and playing. And then the week after that is the Dodgers series in LA. That's going to be interesting as well. But baseball is full throttle. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying these reactions. Hopefully you're enjoying them as well if you're a Yankee fan, or even if you're not a Yankee fan. Even if you like some of the teams they're playing against, you just want to hear my perspective. Anyway, I enjoy it. Again, thank you for joining me. And until next time, I'll see you later.